Alright, hello everyone. Last stream, we went to Fort Redmayne, and what the heck did we do at Fort Redmayne? Fort Redmayne, we went and killed Vendacia and got our first look at Mehrunes Dagon, which I will admit looks really cool. And so now, if I remember correctly, yeah, we stopped Vandacia and saved Blackwood from Mehrunes Dagon for now. Now Governor Keshi was through a victory celebration in the gardens behind the governor's mansion in Gideon. The Diabella priest said Sombrin and Kalia went to a ruin just north of the city. I should be able to find them there. So yep, now we have to go find... Nope, wrong button. We have to go find them before we can throw a little party. I wanted to do an early stream today because, well, it's going to end up raining again. Literally, this entire month has been nothing but rain. One day it's raining all day, next day it's all sunny, and the next day it's raining. And then it's gonna be sunny again. And then it will rain for like 3 more days. It's horrid. Howie! Leave me alone. I just want to go find my friends. Oh my goodness, you're not leaving me alone, are you? Okay, never mind. I guess it is gonna leave me alone.
How much longer, Sombrin? This place makes me feel uneasy.
Not long now. I'm almost... Oh, it seems we have company.
I told Sombrin we should have talked to you before coming out here, but he was so insistent. He wanted to try something with the book, away from other people, just in case. Sombrin thinks my only chance is if we return to the Deadlands. The nature of the realm naturally draws off my power, making it easier to control. Sombrin doesn't think so. He says that's the last place they'd look for us. I'm still attuned to the realm from the trial in the Ashen Forest. Sombrin believes he'll have enough time to teach me if I'm not in danger of imminently exploding. Worse? I suppose that depends on your perspective. It has been growing in intensity again, back at the same level as when we first left the vault. Sombrin is worried I don't have much time. That's why he's being so insistent.
I'm actually glad you found us. I didn't want to leave without an explanation. But I'm afraid that Kalia doesn't have a lot of time. Kalia's power is recharging faster than I anticipated. It will soon reach the point where I won't be able to help her. Then she'll either release it and destroy everything around her, or it will consume her. Either way, people die, including Kalia. Use the Mysterium Xarxis to open a portal to the Deadlands? It's the only place I can think of where Kalia will be safe. The realm naturally siphons off a portion of our power. That will give me time to teach Kalia to control it on her own. It's a big place. Zaina taught me how to avoid notice there. And it's the last place Dagon's followers will think to look for us. As soon as Kalia can control her power, we'll come back. I promise. Thank you, my friend. For everything.
Poor Kalia. I hope Sombrin's right and he can help her. What, taking refuge in the Deadlands? That's like the sausage leaping out of the pan because it thinks the fire will be safer. As for me, I never want to visit the Deadlands again. Hey, it wasn't my book. I was just keeping it safe for... Well, as crazy as it sounds, I think I was meant to give it to Sombrin. He certainly did more with it than I ever could. And I'm not about to miss the bad dreams and the waking visions. We go to the party! It's taking place in the gardens behind the governor's mansion. To think, this all started because I was curious about a coded journal I found in Emperor Leovik's old retreat. We figured out the secret, and now we celebrate. I'll see you at the party. Last one there doesn't get any cake.
Knowing how this game and quest are. Something bad is going to happen at this party. I can feel it. Ow, stop it. Frog. The frog is still coming after me.
If your mount gets
Oh, 2 more hours left. Okay.
That sounds delicious, assassin. You must leave me a copy of the recipe. Welcome to the celebration, mercenary. There are many here who wish to thank you and share a drink or two. But where are Sombrin and Kalia? I expected you to bring them with you. Choosing exile to spare others from danger is a noble decision. I wish them well, even as I worry about Sombrin and Kalia out there on their own. Everyone else has gathered. Eat, drink, talk to your friends. In time, I shall address the crowd.
Oh, god dang it.
Welcome to the choosing anyone you like.
There we go.
They have all come to show you their appreciation. And do not leave too swiftly. I intend to boast of your accomplishments soon. I see Evelie has arrived. Perhaps you should begin with her.
Something bad is gonna happen. I can feel it.
So this is what it's like being the hero everyone looks up to? Most of the stories I've read end with a hero riding off into the sunset before anyone can properly thank them. But I feel like we ought to stay for just a little while, don't you? I don't know about that, but I certainly feel more experienced. And I have you to thank. Well, you and Captain Rianne and Governor Keshu and poor Farrell Lupus. Can you believe this all started because I couldn't leave Emperor Lehovic's secret alone? That's right, I almost forgot. And we should be ready to help Sombrin and Kalia when they return. I don't believe that Mehrunes Dagon and his followers are just going to leave them alone. I really thought the ambitions were actual weapons, though.
I did too.
Here, your share of the last of our compensation from Leowin. And a little something from me. I learned so much at your side. If you ever need any help, just send word and I'll come running. Oh look, I think Governor Keshu's ready to speak.
Two-handed mace? That sounds so cool. Oh man, now I kind of wish I went with a friggin' tank build so I could
Welcome,
use.
people of Blackwood and honored friends. We have weathered a terrible storm, so now we celebrate. Many had a hand in this victory, including those who gave their lives for our cause. But I want to honor the two heroes beside me. Without them, all would have been lost. So stand tall and raise your cups to the sky. Remember those who fell and praise the deeds of those who lived. To victory!
This doesn't feel right. There has to be something else after this. Don't tell me this is the end of the quest. There has to be more, right? What did I get? Oh, a new weapon style. And I got a skill point. Let's just spend that a while. Stalking blast bound? Summon a flaming skeleton. Every second skeleton Spends chasing the target, increases damage. Ah, okay. This, I, I don't believe that this is the end of the quest. No, I'm not talking to the benefactor. I'm not doing that quest. This doesn't feel right. Because all we did was just fight Vandacia. First of all, we never found the fourth ambition. Secondly, we never got to fight Mehrunes Dagon, which is very disappointing. I want to fight Mehrunes Dagon. Okay.
Again?
Well, since there isn't anything of the main quest left to do, I might as well start some side quest a while.
Look, I've got just as much right to stand here as anyone else. If those scantily clad Debellites want me to leave, you tell them to come out here and say it to my face.
What have I gotten myself into?
You're not one of their sanctified bullies? That's a relief. Call me Ferric. I came to Gideon to clear my family's name, but the loose-robed fanatics in the Dibalacium want to run me off. Started with dirty looks. Now I'm getting threats. They think my Grana Cerise murdered their high priest decades ago. It's not true, and I mean to set the record straight. Might take a little snooping around, but the evidence is here. I know it. Want to lend a hand? Don't have much, but I can pay. Thanks for the help. Not easy for Gemains to make friends around here. The Dibellites use that manse in the center of town as their Dibalacium. Sort of a consecrated love nest. There's proof of Grana's innocence in Gideon, we'll find it there. Like I said, the victim was one of the Dibellites' high priests. A woman named Rolaine. This was 60 years ago, mind. But my grandfather tells me the locals worshipped the ground she walked on. Thought she was a prophet, or something near to it. My Grana Cerise was Rolaine's flower bearer. Followed her everywhere she went. When a heap of treasure went missing and Rolaine vanished, Grana was the prime suspect. No one could prove it, of course, since they never found her. Like wood smoke in a windstorm, and without breathing a word to my Grandpa Lier. Way Grandpa tells it, neither of them would so much as visit the Lou without telling the other where they were headed. But the locals wouldn't listen. These damned zealots rallied half the city, gathered up torches and shovels and ran him and my father out of town with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Even outside of Gideon, the rumors followed him. We haven't had a moment's peace since. Bravo. Took an awful long time, what with the Three Banners War and all. But I made it, and I'm not leaving till I settle this once and for all. Might have happened yesterday for all these people care. Nobody holds a grudge like an Imperial. If your name is Gemain, you're lower than dirt in their eyes. I just had a son a couple years back, and he's already catching it on the chin. He's 2. An apology? I'm not that naive. I'm a carpenter by trade. I'll settle for people not hiding my tools and splitting my sawhorses 6 times a month. It's about respect. To oblivion with the rest. Well, not exactly. For now, I can say I have good reason to think there's more to the story. I'll know more once we look around their makeshift Temple of Dibella, and I'll feel much better about doing that having you with me.
Okay, well, I guess we're doing this quest. God, there's so many side quests just in this one town.
What do you want?
So, this is the Dibalacium. Just what I expected. Look at this place. These Dibellites fancy themselves free-spirited bards blown by the wind. But they've got enough gold to make Zenithar blush. Doesn't matter. This is where we'll find our answers. I don't know yet. I just know we have to look. Take this. It's a rare bit of magic called a memory stone. Grana Cerise gave it to Grandpa Lier the night before she supposedly murdered Priestess Rolaine and fled. Maybe it'll show us something. I'm a carpenter, not a mage. But according to this dark elf I showed it to, the mushroom wizards up in Morrowind use them to store their memories. The catch is, you have to stand where the memories occurred to wake up the magic in the stone. Aye, that's the hope. I know we face long odds on this. Magic stones and lost memories sound like storybook nonsense, but it's really all I've got to go on. How about we start our search on the ground floor?
Alrighty.
Salutation. Look! The stone flashed! Did you see it? Try to use it. Something's happening. Is that... It's a memory! Who is that? Boris Mercy!
That was a brutal death sound. Holy crap.
By the eight, what was that? A murder? Someone recorded a murder in that stone? Why would anyone do that? Wait, could this be related to the disappearances Grandpa Lier told me about? Aye. Way Grandpa Lier tells it, in the weeks before Rolain vanished, a handful of novitiates went missing. None of them were popular enough to raise an outcry. People said they must have just left, trying to get out from under Rolain's shadow. Grana Cerise helped all the novitiates, cleaning linens, tending to flowers, arranging sheet music. She knew everyone. These people probably would have pinned the disappearances on her too. But the story took a dark turn after Rolain's murder. The Debellites decided it must have been a conspiracy. The missing novitiates were all in on the plot. Now we see the truth of it. Can't be sure, but whoever murdered those novitiates might have murdered Rolain too. We should keep investigating. Another flash. Try the stone now. Not another one. Preserve me. It's so real.
There's always more to do.
It's our killer again. What's he doing? Gods, what is that? Magic? Did you see those gestures? Can you repeat them? Mara's mercy!
Interesting.
Skeletons! Are those the murdered novitiates? I think I might... Come on, Varric. Keep it together. Find anything?
No! God dang it. Go back. Nope. Please? Okay, there we go.
What have you got there? A letter? Here, let me have a look at it. Oh, and can I have my stone back? I think I've had my fill of grisly memories for now. Clara, Ariel, Edgard. Yes, these were the novitiates. This should bring their families some closure, at least. It wasn't enough that the murderer killed the novitiates. She had to steal their souls, too? How would someone even do that? Huh. I've heard of soul gems before, but not black soul gems. I thought mages just used them on rabbits and goblins and such. These black ones can suck up the souls of men and mer? It preserve us. The ledger said the killer traded them, right? Never heard of them. But then again, honest carpenters like me don't do much business with soul-stealing wizards. It's all academic anyway. There's no way of knowing if the trade even took place. Unless that map you found contains a clue. I never told you how Priestess Rowlane died, did I? She left to visit Leowyn in her carriage, along with her flower bearer Cerise, my grandmother. They never arrived. Maybe this map shows where they went. Let's see where it leads, eh? Grandpa said there'd been talk about how Grana Cerise and the other junior priestesses of Dibella were greedy. When news came that Priestess Rowlane had been murdered, none questioned they'd killed her. Instead, they burned Grandpa Lierre's home. I don't see how it could be anything else. Sadly, I imagine the angry people who burned down our home and chased Grandpa Lierre away are dead now, so they're beyond justice. Yet we can still clear my grandmother's name. We must, for Grandpa Lierre. You're asking me? I figured you'd know. Whoever they are, I guess they like souls? The ledger said that the killer was bringing black soul gems to trade for a reward of some sort. Maybe they're part of the Waking Flame cult the killer mentioned? So you do know about them. I figured. You seem to be taking this all so calmly, like you've seen all this horror and worse. So, these Waking Flame folks are still around? If our killer was one of them, that means they've been in Gideon for decades. By the 8, I hope not. I can't imagine how horrifying it would be to die, but not die. To be trapped forever in one of those black soul gems. Just thinking about it makes me feel like I want to vomit. I'm so glad I have you to protect me.
Oh, trust me, I've dealt with the Waking Flame already. Probably. I just don't believe that that was the end of the main quest. Like, there gotta be more. Oh goodness, where is it? It's that way. Okay. Nope.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the battle at Fort Redmayne? The Blackfin Legion and the Ivory Brigade won the day.
Thanks to those mercenaries from Leowyn that I told you about.
You are the smartest lizard in Gideon. But I heard Mehrunes Dagon actually appeared.
A Daedric prince? Here? Nonsense. But I do want to thank the mercenaries for helping Blackwood. Both the cute wood elf and her friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, there in the water. Could that be it? See what you can find.
Well, I found a skeleton.
I'm afraid to ask, but I've got to. What did you find? Let me see. Yes! I've seen that seal too many times. See the flowers encircling the face? It's a symbol of Dibella. This is a High Priestess's signet ring. It can't be a coincidence. That skeleton is Priestess Rolain. We found her. So Priestess Rolain was transporting those? Why? Did Grana Cerise know about it? They left town together and vanished together. My grandmother's skeleton isn't here, so... By the Eight, could Priestess Rolain be the killer? Do you think... No, it couldn't have been Grana. She wasn't in Gideon when the novitiates were killed. The priestess had access to the treasury, had the ear of the people. It all makes sense, except how she died. We just... Wait. Look there! You should say hello, right? I'm right behind you.
Hold on, Ghost. Let me swim over to you real quick.
That's Grana Cerise, isn't it? She's been here in this cave all this time. Sorry for keeping you waiting. I'm sure uncovering murderous cults and meeting your grandmother's ghost is run-of-the-mill fodder for you. But for me, this is a bit much to take. I guess there was something to those dreams after all. I know. I should have told you from the start, but I didn't want to scare you off thinking I was crazy or something. It started a month or so ago. A ghostly young woman rouses me from my bed every night and stares at me. Like she wants something. I know it is. She just stared us both in the face and guided us to her remains, right? But what now? She put an end to Rolain's plot, but no one will believe me. The Germains will keep getting stepped on. They'll say I faked the whole thing. That might actually work. Keshu the Black Fin and her Argonians couldn't give two croaks about Dibella and her flock. Keshu's war mage, Fire from Nowhere, knows local history. He might just listen. Grana Cerise gave us the proof. Let's use it.
Let me just get this real quick. That's actually a really cool Argonian name, Fire from Nowhere. I like that. Frog.
No sign? Good. Carry on. Son's greetings, Biko. Your friend's eyes seem gray with worry. What troubles you both?
Did he just call me Biko? I have never been called Biko before.
Rolain. Ah, yes, the prophet woman these smooth skins mourn. She's been dead for a very long time, but still they cry. It is very strange. But that is the Imperial way, I guess. What did you discover? Something to quiet their hearts, I hope. Well then, that is not what I expected you to say. If this is true, there will be a great wailing in the Dibalacium. Disbelief also. They curse the woman Cerise Germain, and all who hatch from her clutch. Your proof must be hard as stone. I can tell you speak the truth. In the name of Keshu, I claim the Breton Ferric Germain as my charge. I place my hand upon the Hist and swear no harm will befall him here, and the truth of this will come to light no matter how grim.
Thank the Eight for fire from nowhere. And for you. I never could have accomplished this without your help. I can't believe it's over. These zealots will finally know the truth. I guess I'll stay in Gideon until we put this matter to rest for good. I want to see these people's faces when they come to terms with what really happened. Then, it's back to Bravo in my woodshop. Sooner the better. Thanks, hero. For everything. If I didn't trust Keshu and her Argonians to protect me, I'd flee right now. I'm sure there are plenty of people in Gideon who will want me dead for what I know. But I'm staying. Grana Cerise was a hero, and I won't let her down. Relieved? Honestly, I started all this to get the people of Cyrodiil off my family's back, and to get a full night's sleep. Not exactly selfish, but not a righteous crusade either, you know? But now that I know what Grana went through, and sadder. But we sorted it right. Spirits at rest, remains recovered, souls returned. I hope. This is as happy an ending as we could hope for, given the circumstances. Just makes me damn glad I'm a carpenter and not a full-time adventurer.
Well, that was a super quick, side quest. Ooh. I get more bag space. Thank you. Let's just get another point in health. Ooh. Ooh, that sounds good. I'll take that. And the staff, I don't use that type of staff, so that's no use for me. Okay, where was that one circus looking place at? I want to do that side quest. I think it was up here. Here it is.
I admit it's quite a story, but I know the difference between a tall tale and a large problem. I'll help however I can.
I shudder to think what your elven circus would consider far-fetched. I'm not so sure I believe it myself.
Greetings, traveler. If you've come to witness the marvels and mysteries of our troupe, I hope you haven't traveled far. Our performance is postponed indefinitely, on account of drama, ironically enough. There's a more sinister mischief in Farmer's Nook than the sort the House of Reveries trades in. I hear of townsfolk disappearing, only to turn up and act oddly. We only set camp recently, but the locals fear we've somehow caused their plight. None. That farmer Hesef said his sister was among the afflicted, and she died recently. At least he thought she died, but she left no corpse. I must clear the troop's name. With the locals wary as they are, though, I need help, and I can pay. Hesef mentioned that 2 of his neighbors also had loved ones vanish, Braden DeVoe and Jahuz. Speak with them. They may be more open with a less grandiose traveler. You might also speak with Hesef directly, if you wish. Any other day, I'd claim to be the lost princess of Piandania and regale you with tales of my exploits, but now's not the time for such frivolities. My fellows and I are entertainers from the House of Reveries, here to perform across all of Tamriel. I've been greatly disappointed with how often I've gotten that question since we departed from Somerset. There's not a soul in the Isles who hasn't heard of the Manor of Masks and its famed performers. But Tamriel will know it soon enough. Theater, conservatory, circus, salon, temple. The House of Reveries wears as many guises as we do. It is the ancestral home of all the performing arts in Somerset, and the world, if you believe some of the sapiarchs. Sleepy little towns like Farmer's Nook are the most in need of an escape from the mundane. We came to offer them some mirth and mystery, but it appears we've been upstaged. Well, our troupe won't be outdone so easily. We have a reputation to uphold. Help, of course. I've devoted my life to liberating people from their troubles, however briefly. And if I can't do that from a stage, then I will take my talents where they are most needed. I may seem a simple thespian to you, but I have had other roles in this life before I found my calling. While I may not count adventurer among them, I'm certain that I am far better prepared to unravel this mystery than these unfortunate folk.
Well then. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, there we go.
So, working with the mummers. They may seem strange, but you're safer resting at their camp than at the inn. Not to say Braden runs a poor establishment, mind. There's just strangeness afoot in our little village. Folk have been going missing of late, including my sister, Seal. Never for long, a few days. Just enough to plant a worry before they wander back as if nothing happened. But something did. They come back different. Like everything's unfamiliar. Weren't her memory. She could recall details down to where she last left the salt, but acted like she'd never tasted it. She'd bring up things I'd long forgotten as if they'd happened yesterday. Started dredging up old hurts we'd put past us long ago. Can't say. Felt like she wanted to relive the past, good and bad. Don't know what would have brought that on. We lead quiet lives now. Happy lives, I thought. Led, I suppose. She's gone now. If it was even her in the first place. Seal led me to our old swimming hole. Hadn't been there in decades. She dove right in like we did as kids. I looked away before she struck the water. She hit hard. When I screwed up the courage to look, just inky black water. She was gone.
Interesting.
That's right. Even with that ink in the pool, I could tell her body weren't there. I searched around the swimming hole, too. Nothing. Not so much as a wet footprint or even more of that vile ink, like she'd vanished. A lot from our childhood, mostly. If our parents were around, they were deep in the skooma, so Seal and I had to look out for each other. Not so much anymore. The years have been peaceful here. I suppose we'd grown distant before she vanished. No. Maybe. We'd sit down for meals together and tend the farm together, but there's not much to talk about in Farmer's Nook. Another field planted, another day gone by. Was she trying to tell me something? What was she trying to say? We were all a bit shaken by what happened with Igmund, but things were getting back to normal. Until Seal went out to collect logs and didn't return. I begged the others to help me search for her, but they feared they'd vanish too. Truth is, I didn't make it far myself. I thought I heard things in those woods. Even during the day, it felt like something was watching. When she showed up at the house again, I nearly fainted. I should have been relieved, but I felt haunted. Can a ghost take your hand? Make a meal? If she slept, I never saw it. I barely slept myself. The staring was the worst. Felt like she was always watching, smiling. When she'd blink, it was like one eye was a hair shy of the other. Gave me chills.
Interesting. Horse.
Ah! Careful! You might have scared the mayor. Who are you? What do you want? You've come about Bugtail. I knew someone would, but my neighbors have kept their distance since he returned. I cannot blame them. I scarcely wish to take him back myself, not after Igmund and Seal, but I couldn't bring myself to turn him away. Yes? Or rather, I fear I will share his fate. Bugtail rode out to deliver a horse despite my protest. The gelding returned. He did not. Before I would have been the first to go looking, but I dreaded he'd return, like the others. And he did. Dead, or gone, for now. Even the horses could tell something was wrong with him. I fought with this one's reins as he groomed her, but she started and kicked Bugtail. Ink sprayed everywhere. When I cleared my eyes, it was all that remained. I do not wish to speak of what has happened here, but I will. How many more will vanish and return to haunt us if no one tries to stop it? What is it you wish to know, stranger? In the far-off land of Elsewhere, I was taken by Sea Elf privateers and sold into Imperial slavery. Bugtail had been a slave for many years when I arrived. Like many Khajiit after Queen Eurexia invaded Elsewhere. We bonded, because we spoke so little. You may think me a spinner of tall tales, but I swear I speak no lies. Bugtail and I were languishing under the hot sun, digging new metal for the Imperial Queen, when a dragon swooped out of the sky and scorched the land. In the chaos, we ran. I will never forget the sound of those Eurexian soldiers screaming. Truthfully, I do not know what scared me more, seeing that giant fire-belching beast, or my quiet friend standing at my door like a phantom. I would not have suspected anything amiss had I not known of what happened to Igmund and Seal. There was nothing sinister in his look or manner. If anything, he regarded me more warmly than he had in years. Normally, he could go days without a word. He seemed to want to reminisce about our more adventurous days, before we escaped to Farmer's Nook and settled down to raise horses. They were livelier times, but I would not trade them for what I have now.
We're out of meat and no hot meals. If those are luxuries to which you're accustomed, you can keep on moving and find another inn. What are you, some sort of adventurer? Yeah. Yeah, you look the part. Sorry I was short with you. Since Igmund passed, I've had to work twice as hard and twice as long to run the inn. It's done my manor no favors. Damned fool. He wanted to build a bonfire and drink the night away like we used to. Haven't seen Igmund down mead like that since we were barely men. He lost his legs and tumbled into the fire. Nothing but cinders left by the time I doused the blaze. Not so much of a scrap of clothing. Just black, tarry ashes. Never seen anything throw such a thick black smoke. But it didn't